we're lying to you, and we actually changed clothes.
Vanessa, why'd you tell them? This is a completely different day. We totally didn't just record episode 3.
I probably still have makeup running down my face from the last one. the same day.
Go check out episode 3 to find out what she's talking about.
Yeah, literally.
So welcome to season 2, episode
4
for you non-Hispanics.
Today we are going to be diving into The Good Life by Isly, which stands for I So Love You, Christian band, very lit. And yeah.
Nothing else compares to all your love for me. Now I'm living in the good life. Welcome to the good life.
So like all of this reminded us of just relativism and subjective things, right? So relativism is when you think my truth is right and somebody else's truth can be right as well. So that makes truth subjective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So subjective means that you're letting your feelings guide you on what is truth, versus objective, where it's the truth is the truth, this is the facts, and that's what we're going to go by. So that's kind of what we wanted to hit on for today, is that it's not about how you feel. Like even in the verse it says, I don't think life was meant to feel this empty. I let culture tell me how to live, because life is always, I'm not reading, but life is always telling you, you know, like, do you, boo-boo. Live your good life, live your best life.
Wow.
So like that's not truth, right? Like it's living in an empty life. So and it goes on to say, I still feel like there's just something missing that you open my eyes to see, a better life that you have planned for me. It's just so good.
Yeah.
It is good.
It's just, we overcomplicate
Yeah.
Christianity so much by like saying, oh, but this and this and this, like just pulling, like trying to just like stretch and make it fit what we want it to be. But really, like the Bible, like that's it. That's the truth. There's no her truth, your truth.
Right.
Like it's just the truth.
Right.
And it's the Bible and God.
Yeah. Jesus said, you know, he is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through him. So there's not a whole bunch of paths, because that's another thing that the world is trying to say.
True. It's a narrow path.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
But worth it.
Yeah. So do you guys have any examples of when you've lived empty lives, or lives that just felt without purpose, even if it was just a season, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, it was just more of like not really knowing what I'm like supposed to be doing, because you know I grew up in the church but didn't really have a relationship with God. So it's just like going through each day just feeling empty, like what it says, not really knowing what life was meant for or what the purpose of me being here was, until I realized that God is my Father and he loves me and he wants to like be in relationship with me and walk with me.
Yeah, that's good.
I think for me, like, just the whole, I've tasted all the things that this world can give. I feel like I have, like, my whole life, like, grew up in the church, but it was such a double life. Like, I couldn't do these things at church because I didn't want my church friends to see the way I lived outside of church. And I feel like it didn't become, like, real until probably after high school, which was not that long ago. But, like, I really did taste everything that the world had. It was just trying to fill the void of emptiness or being alone or just whatever it was. I would fill it with whatever, boys, sex, whatever it was. Like, it was always something. Social media or friends that I probably shouldn't have had, or just so many things that I can think back on and go, what was I doing? Like, why was I filling myself with all these things that were so bad
Yeah.
when I literally had exactly what I needed right in
Right.
front of me?
Yeah. For me, I didn't fully know God. I didn't have a relation. I thought I was a Christian. I called myself a Christian if people asked. And like I tried waiting till marriage to have sex, but then I didn't. Anyway, that's a weird circumstance. And it's just like like you said, I tasted all the world had to see, let's say, or whatever. So like smoking weed, drinking before I was of age, and after, like clubbing and all the stuff. Like I did all that stuff, but it's so empty. It was so purposeless. And then I found Jesus, and I saw like you know, like the truth.
It makes my heart like hurt because like when I look back at the people I was friends with and the things that I was doing, and like I would do all of these things, but you know I was at church on Sunday sitting right there with my small group or youth group or whatever, and it's like, man, like, and then I see the kids at youth do it, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I always try to get through to them by saying, like, I literally was in your shoes not that long ago.
Yeah.
Like, I graduated in 2017. That's not that long ago.
Yeah.
I did exactly what you're doing right now. And it sucks because you try to get through so much from your own personal experience. But then I think about people that were telling me the same thing when I was in youth, and I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like,
Right.
you're old.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's different.
Yeah.
You don't
it's
know.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's changed.
Right.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
It is.
Because literally, like, we read, I don't know how many episodes ago, but we were talking about Ecclesiastes and how, like, it's the same thing over and over again. Nothing's new under the sun. Yeah.
Facts, bro. Just like diving a little bit into like what this guy says. What's his name? Mike Ratliff. Yeah.
Okay.
I just think it was like cool how he worded it, but just talking about like, you know, subjective versus objective. He said, there's a form of religion in the world today that calls itself by many names. In each of those forms, it's seen as a type of Christianity, but is, in fact, nothing more than a man-made facsimile of true Christianity. Its foundation is not the same. True Christianity is built upon the foundations of Christ, Him crucified, God's eternal word, the Holy Trinity, and the sovereignty of God. On the other hand, the man-made subjective form of it, no matter what it is called, has an entirely different foundation. Its foundation is accommodation, fairness, equality, the nobility of man, the rights of man, the free will of man, critical race theory, social justice, and experientialism. Even though both true Christianity and the subjectivism reference many of the same things, the focus will be entirely different, with the former being primarily on the glory of God through the exposition of His truth from His word, with the latter being on the accommodation of man, with the inclusion of people's experiences as the primary focus and means of knowing God and His truth.
Yeah. That was a mouthful.
Yeah.
But, like, that's the world we live in right now. Like, you think about, I'm going to throw out more terms, but progressive Christianity, which is like that Christianity is growing and that it includes all this stuff, but it's, again, all on feelings and not on the truth, which is the word of God, which is Jesus, right?
It really is, like I said earlier, just like us overcomplicating what God has for us and what He's given us.
Yeah.
Like, He's given us this, and it's so helpful if we just read it.
Yeah.
You know? And I think a lot of times, especially just growing up in like my church or whatever, if you are used to that, then you're just being fed by sermons and messages by mentors and people in your life. But even then, like, that can still, you can still get lost in the just following of people and not following actually what God is saying if you don't like do it on your own time.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Brandon always says that. He always says, don't take what I say, like, take it at face value, because you need to find out, like, look for yourself.
Yeah.
Because he said I could be wrong. And
Yeah.
I don't know. But I
And
always
we're-
take that like for real because
Yeah, we're all human.
yeah,
Nobody's Jesus like
Right.
preaching the gospel,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. That's why Bibles that like are man interpreted versus interpreted through the text, that's why those are so dangerous, you know? Like that's how Mormonism came to be, and that's how Jehovah's Witnesses came to be. I think.
Whitney.
Whitney. Yeah. Like I don't know. Like we have so much value on feelings nowadays. Like what I want, and this is how I feel, and I don't feel like I am who I am, you know? Like, I may be a dog today or a man today, you know? Like, that's, of course it's going to
true.
fluctuate. Like,
Yeah.
look at Demi Lovato. Like, she went from they to she to me to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so many things. So, like, so you're not born a certain way, because if you're changing every 5 seconds, then you're not.
what are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, kind of went there. But,
I mean, it's all true. Like,
yeah.
the world is crazy.
Yeah. I think just the whole like your truth is your truth and my truth is my truth is so bad because we're supposed to be telling people the truth.
Right.
But people don't know the truth anymore. Like
Even Christians.
yeah, like it's like, oh, well, the Bible doesn't say that I can't do this.
Right.
But I'll compromise and I'll twist it to where
Yeah.
I can do this, but I'm
Uh-huh.
still a Christian because
Right.
it doesn't say that I can't do this. Like, it's just all these little things that we have just made so complicated
Yeah.
and twisted into what we want it to be so that way we can be fulfilled in
Right.
whatever our feelings are and what we want to do and
Yeah.
whatever, when really we don't even know the truth
Right.
because we don't read the truth and
Right.
we don't read our Bibles and we're not into that. We're into social media, we're into what other people say, and we're into
Yeah.
what our school's teaching us and whatever we see on TV that we think is right. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just so bad. It's so twisted.
Yeah, because ultimately the idol becomes us, right? Like
Right.
it's I'm
Self-centered,
the yeah.
Yeah, I love how, in the first verse, he's just talking about how lost, like, he is in the, just the world,
Yeah.
And, but God changes you so quickly, and it's really is life-changing and
Yeah.
such a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I like how it says, a better life that you have planned for me.
Mm-hmm.
A born-again believer, God, you set me free. Because we're in bondage to this world. We're in bondage to ourselves, right? Like, all these feelings ever-changing,
Yeah.
like, where God is...
Constant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God is always there, man.
Yes.
I think where it says like you were just saying, a born again believer, God, you set me free. Going into the next, I don't know what that is. Whatever.
Yeah.
The next line.
Yeah.
I'm never going back to how I used to be.
Yeah.
That is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Like looking back now again, I'm like, why did I do all these things? Like
Yes.
I'm never going back
Yeah.
to that.
No.
But oftentimes I feel myself like compromising
Yeah.
and doing I can listen to this song, it's not that bad, or it doesn't say that many bad words, and, like going back into that, and it's like, no, I don't ever want to go back to that
Yeah.
because I was so far and so lost that it was whatever truth I wanted it to be, that was
Yeah.
what it was, and I would do all of the things and then go sit at church on Sunday morning, and then like it was like a reset button, like, okay, well, I did everything I wanted to this week, so now I'm in church, so reset, and then
Yeah.
but it's just not how it is.
Yeah. I like how it says, everything I was is now a memory.
Yeah.
Like, not going back
Yes.
to it. Nothing else compares to all your love for me.
Yes.
Ugh.
All his love, dang. He loves me so much.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. His sacrifice, everything he did. Like, thinking about him in the Garden of Gethsemane, right? Like, tears of blood, right? That's an actual thing. Like, if you're going through a super stressful, like, moment in life, like, that can actually happen.
Yeah.
And, like, he's that stressed, but he said, "Not my will, but yours be done." Are we ever that sacrificial? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we can't even
Right.
give up a day sometimes.
Yeah,
like, you know, like, I'm
right.
doing something, bro.
20 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going through.
right.
I'm going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like crazy. Just, I feel like we talk about this in like almost every episode. Just like realizing that God sacrificed so much for me, and that's all we need. Like, that's just something that I forget every day.
Constantly.
And I just, we get comfortable in like feeling safe, and we forget everything that like God has done for us.
Yeah. We all try to drinking.
Right.
Like, think about drinking. Okay, you can have a cup. That's fine. Are you getting drunk though?
Yeah.
Or smoking? Are you addicted to it? Are you smoking weed to like find relief?
Yeah.
What about Jesus? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Boys.
Boys, are you trying to find your identity or like feel attention from boys or?
Yeah. I was just thinking the same thing you were thinking, like when you said it looks like it's funner, or like when you see commercials for alcohol, like they're not just sitting
It's
on the
finer
couch hanging
things,
out.
right.
Like it's fun. They're
Yeah.
at the beach. They're partying. They're with their friends. Like it's
Yeah.
fun. But you don't
guys.
see like Jesus commercials of people like doing that.
Yeah.
They don't.
That's a good
You don't
point.
do that
Yeah.
because it's just not like you're told not to get drunk.
Right.
Like
That's what I'm saying. A good church Instagram. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's representative of the actual, like, it is good. Like, we've had tons of fun together.
Yeah.
We've had tons of fun
Yeah.
together, you
And
know?
we've said before that like we probably sometimes look drunk or high or
Yeah.
whatever.
Because we're like laughing.
Yeah, but it's just genuine fun,
Yeah.
which I think is such a beautiful like gift from God that
Yeah.
you really don't need any of that stuff to enhance
Yeah.
your time together. Like
Right.
if you do need that to enjoy being around somebody or people or like
Then
have
something's
fun,
wrong.
yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Not good.
also where it says the to gain the world and slowly lose myself, I'd leave it all behind. Like would that? I feel like I ask myself this a lot. Would that be enough if I had nothing else? If I had no money, if I had no place to live, if I had no car, if I had no
JC.
friends, like
Oh no.
no, like but would his love be enough for me?
Yeah.
And it's hard to think about because I'm like, I mean, I like having money and going places
Yeah.
and doing
car,
things.
not being
and-
homeless.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk everywhere. Like,
Right.
but would it be enough if I didn't have that?
Oof.
That'd be a true test of faith.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You better watch out. God's going to
know.
make you homeless.
Better watch out.
No.
Better not cry. Better think twice. I'm telling you. why.
Anyway.
I think I messed that up.
I think so too. I think that's how it goes.
I mean, I've talked to Vanessa about this a lot, but just being present and really just living moment by moment, not saying like that you shouldn't, like obviously there's aspects of life where you have to think ahead, but like thinking ahead, even just like overthinking, stressing yourself out, or like, I've said to a million people that I just wanted to be Friday already, but there's so many moments, like today was like so good. Like I don't want to I can't let me thinking about Friday.
Get in the way of
Yeah.
the rest of your week. Yeah.
I think for you it's so relevant right now because, like with you moving, like it's like, I never actually like thought about the time that we spend together because I just thought it was never
Yeah.
ending. Like,
Yeah.
and now that it's like about to come to an end, it's like I'll literally stop anything to
To hang out
to
with
hang out with you or to go get coffee or to go
Yeah.
to dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
But I never thought it would come to an end. So it's like being in the moment.
Cherishing.
Yeah, like
even
they don't last forever.
bringing it to an even darker thought,
Yep.
we don't have every day.
Yeah.
So, you aren't dead to us.
Right.
It could happen to any of us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so much of life we take for granted, including every breath we take.
Yeah. I was recently visiting my mother, and on my way back, it was raining, super hard raining. And I've been having super vivid dreams lately. And one of the dreams is I'm driving. Actually, anyway,
You're
it doesn't
driving?
matter. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But someone's driving, and it's me and my mom are in the car, and we get rammed off the bridge, and I was falling, and I started saying, I'm not ready yet. I knew I was gonna die. I knew I was gonna die, and then I wake up.
Right.
So on my way back from my mom's house, this is such a tangent, but on my way back from my mom's house, it was raining really, really hard, and then I looked down at my phone. I'm like, focus, because at any moment I could die.
Yeah.
And I had that same feeling of I'm not ready yet, you know? I don't want to die right now.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't want to die, because I do want to meet Jesus, and I do want to be
Yeah.
in communion with him, but at the same time, I feel there's so many things left undone anyway. But I started thinking, dude, we don't have, I'm planning to do this move, but what if we die? What if I die before it, you know?
Okay, too far. I can't even process the move.
But
It's true, though.
It makes you
Yeah.
think, and it's
Yeah.
just that perspective thing again.
Yeah.
Are you being intentional with the people around you? Are you being intentional about spending time with God and
Right.
learning more about Him
Yeah.
and trying to live like Him? Are
Yeah.
you doing what you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
all those things.
I feel like
Makes
that
you
hits me
think.
more than doing for others. Are you sharing with others
Ooh.
before
Yeah.
they
hard.
die? Because
Yeah, that is hard.
I look at me and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna live way longer than my friends. I'm way smarter than them. I'm not doing drugs like they are. They're probably gonna die soon. But not these friends, but not my old friends that I had.
yeah.
But I look at that and I'm like, I mean, their time's running out just as fast as mine is. But am I sharing the gospel? Am I telling people about Jesus? Because time is running out, and if I don't, then hopefully someone else
Yeah.
does, because
Yeah.
they're gonna die one day.
But how do you share with people that don't want to hear it?
Girl, I don't know.
Because
Great
that's what I feel
question.
I run into that all the time. I try to share it with family members that I know they need to hear it, and I don't want to die without them, or I don't want them to die without them knowing.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
But they don't fully want to hear it. You could try to tell them about it, and it's just either they think they know,
Right.
or I don't know, they'd rather be in their life. They're so in love with the world. They're so
Right.
in love with what they're doing, the finer things in life, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't know actual truth.
Yeah, because the truth that they're living is their truth,
Yeah.
right?
I think one of the biggest things that I think is helpful in showing other people the gospel that don't want it is just living as much as you can like Christ and
Yeah.
loving them, which is so hard
Yeah.
sometimes, but
Yeah.
just being an example of Christ, and they will see that. They obviously, your family knows you're Christian. They
Yeah.
know you and Brandon and what you guys do, what
Yeah.
you're a part of.
Yeah.
But I think actions speak a lot louder than words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, you just convicted me. Because it feels like there's a specific family member that I'm thinking of, and it's just so hard to talk to her. It's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I've pulled away completely.
Oh, yeah.
But is that Jesus
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've talked about this a lot,
Yeah.
kind of in the same situation, but you can only, I feel like I'm at a point where I'm you can only try
Yeah.
so many times.
Yeah.
And then at that point, they're just going to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
Before you cut them off,
Yeah.
they're going to cut you off. And
But what if you cut them off before they have
I
done
know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Get wrecked.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think that's a balance of
Mm-hmm.
when do you draw the line of, okay, I've tried 100 million times, but do I try 100 million in one time?
Yeah.
Because
But it's so
how they're gonna
hard.
take it.
Yeah.
And you don't want
Because
them
it hurts.
to,
But it hurts to be around those people because you know they're doing the wrong thing, and like you feel like if you say something, then they're gonna cut you off. But at the same time, what's worse? Like, ugh.
And Jesus sat with the tax collectors and the prostitutes and all
sinners.
those people. So I guess we just gotta look at what Jesus did. In the Bible, the truth.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about this before, but it really is so important if you're a leader in the church to have a firm foundation in Christ and know what you're living for and who you're living for.
Yeah.
So that you can truly convey that to others. Like, I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and they were just saying they weren't sure if they could be a leader anymore because they aren't living the way they should be. And I mean, sometimes maybe you need to step down so that you can re-examine your heart and get closer to God and allow God to strengthen you, and then you could maybe step back into that role.
Yeah.
Go throw eggs at people. Okay, bye.
Okay.